Mineplex released their last closed beta, which means they're going to be opening it up to the general public soon. In total, there have been 3 closed betas. The first was on October 30th, 2024, the second was on December 23rd, 2024, and the final one is currently ongoing, having been released on May 2nd, Friday. But what's new? Has the server improved? In my video, Mineplex's closed beta, disappointing, I shared my thoughts on how the server didn't feel good enough to even call it a closed beta, but now it's been 7 months since that first closed beta, so surely there have been some improvements, right? When it comes to the lobby, there have definitely been some changes, but it's still lacking. Mineplex brought back the old style lobby and revamped it a little bit by modernizing it while keeping the classic feel everybody loved. They left in small things like lava parkour, ruins parkour, snake parkour, and the gladiators arena, though this time around there are no rewards for completing the challenges like on old Mineplex, which gives the player little to no reason to try them out unless they're just bored. On top of that, it's not exactly easy to find some of these challenges. They could really bring back the lobby stuff section in the compass. I also have a small nitpick with gladiators. Right now, it doesn't feel great. The combat is just set to have no cooldown, which feels pretty awful to play. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be 1.8 combat or 1.9 combat, but it definitely needs improvement. There's really no reason to want to play lobby gladiators in its current state. One thing old Mineplex had was its iconic NPCs around the lobby, like the Karate Pig, the Miners, Jeffrey, Big Larry, and more, but they're nowhere to be found. Where's Carl the Creeper at? This wouldn't be hard to add back, and for the sake of completeness, it would be nice to have. Another thing I noticed is that not every game has a game sign, which makes me wonder if all games will eventually get one. This raises the concern, what happens when the lobby runs out of space? Mineplex is supposed to help market and advertise studios, but if they can't even advertise them properly in their own lobby, that's not gonna convince many people to join. They should figure out a new way to showcase games and give them credit, especially since they're studio-made projects. Mineplex also finally released their promised cosmetics for the Gold and Diamond Founder Bundle, which include the Phoenix Pet, Phoenix Mount, and the badges. From using them myself, they're nothing crazy, just what you'd expect. The badge looks like a rank tag, but isn't a rank, and the pet and mount are pretty standard. One thing Mineplex benefits from is being on the modern versions of Minecraft. There are so many cool things you can do in the latest versions, but Mineplex isn't really using any of them. When I log on, all I can think is, this could also be done in 1.8 minus some texture specific stuff. When players join, they should be thinking, wow, I see why Mineplex moved to the newer version. The lobby should set that tone and showcase what the server can really offer. It helps build expectations for the games they're about to play. Right now though, that's just not the case. Luckily, studio partners are putting in real effort because honestly, everything they've made so far easily beats Mineplex's own stuff both in quality and fun. And speaking of studios making good games, there's a big issue. Studios aren't compensated unless they add microtransactions into their game, and if you couldn't tell, it's not exactly easy to monetize games like One in a Quiver or Micro Battles. Mineplex really needs to figure out a better way to support studio partners, because relying on microtransactions just isn't sustainable in a space like this. These partners have been putting in effort for the past 2 years, essentially working on a promise that they'll eventually gain something, while Mineplex makes this pretty difficult right now. Thankfully, Mineplex is lucky that studios are putting effort into quality games. Moving on to the games themselves, quick disclaimer, Mineplex themselves have only made one game, the rest are done by studio partners. The current beta introduces 2 new game modes, Minestrike and Champions. Both are classic games that players have been begging to return, and now they're finally back. Champions was made by the Clans team, and honestly, it feels great. If you're able to join the closed beta, you should definitely give Champions a try. The team did a really good job bringing back the mode and improving on it. I know some players may be turned off by the fact that it's on the latest version, but it's done so well that the fact that it's on 1.21 doesn't really matter. From just a few games, I was able to get back into my own playstyle of running Brute and Mage. They changed a few things, but not enough to mess with the classic experience. Right now, they offered Champions Domination and Capture the Flag, 2 iconic modes from Champs. The same goes for Minestrike. If you remember the last time you played it, you'll find almost the same experience here, just improved. The game runs really well and plays fine too. I enjoyed playing it even though I'm pretty bad at it. The only other game I know that's coming soon is Bomb Lobbers, and that's because my own group, Arcade, is working on it. Other than that, in terms of new games, that's all there is for now. The current games have either gotten updates or stayed the same since the last beta. Otherwise, this closed beta just feels like the others. Right now, the only active player bases are in clans and champions since they're related. It's only been one weekend though, so maybe it's too early to tell. Still, the rest of the game modes on new Mineplex probably won't thrive until the server opens to the public. In the past, I've mentioned servers like MCC Island, Hoplite, Windcraft, and others as examples of amazing modern Minecraft servers. I said Mineplex should try holding themselves to those standards, but honestly, it feels like the opposite is happening. Samito even said in a Mineplex update video that they're feature parity with other servers. He's talking about Bedrock featured servers here.
We passed that with flying colors. We're at feature parity right now with a lot of the existing featured partners.
And Mineplex is far from feature parity with CubeCraft, Hive, and Lifeboat. I get it, this is still just a closed beta and things might change before the open beta releases, but a lot of these changes needed will take time, and if Mineplex is expecting to open up soon, they might not even get the chance to fix them in time. MCC Island and Hoplite had amazing high quality closed betas that far surpass what Mineplex is offering now. So no, I don't think it's unfair to expect more from Mineplex, especially given what's been done in this space already. Mineplex has a lot of work to do. Almost 2 years ago, Samito announced he bought Mineplex, and only now are we getting close to an open beta. But what's being offered right now really doesn't feel like something that should have taken 2 years to make.